Hey there, you awesome bipeds, quadrupeds, and even the occasional dinosaurs. It is I, Little Wolf, and welcome to my den. Go ahead and come on in and take a seat by the fire. The cauldron is always bubbling, so you can have your choice of tea, coffee, or hot chocolate. Well, let's see here. It's been a bit since I've done a regular video where it's not just cartoons. So, the last few months for me have been kind of busy. I went to go stay and help out with my daughter, and it was only supposed to be for a week, and it's turned into something that's almost 3 months now. And within that time, I've been putting out my usual Monday vintage cartoon revisited, and I'm glad you people are enjoying that. And I'm so glad that you are still watching and enjoying it, and it's the whole reason I do it, to help give you guys a break on your Monday or whatever day that you're watching it from. And within the summertime, I've been kind of busy in the background doing other things. I've found some new shows to watch and some new podcasts to listen to, and definitely found some really good movies that I want to talk about later on. And so, I thought I would just kind of sit down with you for just a moment and kind of do catch up. The one show that has really taken over my life at this point right now would have to definitely be My Hero Academia. And I'm not gonna go too deep into it now because I do kinda want to do some videos about them later on. And it's another reason I'm kind of excited about later videos, because I definitely have some things that I really like and I really want to share them. So the more I like something, I think the better the videos will be. And that's also another reason why I haven't put out any videos yet, because nothing has really jumped out at me and said, hey, make a video on me. And I really want to care about whatever it is that I want to share with you. Otherwise, it just won't feel as heartfelt, and that's just not how I want to be. I don't want to put out a video just to put out a video. But as I was saying, I've been really sucked into the world of My Hero Academia. I just finished the 4th season, and I found a way to watch the 5th season, and I have one of the movies. And I think there's 2 movies. There's one called Heroes, and then Heroes Rising, I think, is the second one, and I accidentally bought the second one first. So, yeah, I bought these on Google Play, and at the time the seasons were, or volumes actually, because they did season 1 for like $6 American, and then the other seasons they did in volumes. They had season 2, volume 1, volume 2, season 3, blah blah blah, yada yada. And I had wound up getting all the way up to volume 2 of season 3, I believe, was when I bought the last one that was on sale, and then I had to wind up buying the other ones at regular price, which was kinda spendy, but it was definitely worth it. I mean, this show, oh my god, this show. The characters are just so much fun. Even the villains are very entertaining. And then the story arcs of each character, and as you watch them all grow up and try and become heroes, because that's the whole thing of it, academia. They're going to school to become heroes. And it follows a kid named Midoriya who later gets his hero name of Deku. And it's just following his story and his friend's story. Well, they're kind of friends, but they're rivals, and they kind of have that weird frenemies type feel to them. But I don't want to give away too much because, I mean, one, I really think you need to seek this out and try and watch it if you haven't, and the people who have watched it, I know you'll agree with me that it's just an amazing show. And there are so many moments. I'm such a softie when it comes to certain things, and I'll cry like a little puppy who somebody's stolen his bone. Um, and there were definitely a few times where, I felt the eyes tearing up and everything else. And it really got me in season 4 because there's a certain moment that, oh my god, you just cannot help but cry if. Oh, there's just so much to get into with the show, and that's why I say I kind of want to do videos later on about it. And there's a really awesome YouTube site that I have also found where they talk about the show and it delves deeper into it because they at the time they have a main hero named All Might, and he just is this unstoppable force, and he's just what every kid there wants to be, and he's just a symbol of hope in every single way. He's always smiling while he's fighting, and there just seems to be no end to what he can do. And it's just such a fun, all the little reveals that they do kind of catch you off guard, and there are definitely laugh out loud moments with it when certain things happen. Oh man, I just love the show so much, and it's really just dug into my life from the first moment I started watching it, and I have to kind of thank my pup for it because she had one of her face masks that she had bought was covered with little pictures of the characters from My Hero Academia, and I had asked her what are those, and she told me the show, and she's been wanting to get me to watch other shows with her. She wants me to watch Death Note with her, and she wants me to watch, I think it's called Black Butler. But I've really gotten sucked into the academia world, and it's gonna come to an end here pretty soon because I believe there's only 5 stories of it. Um, but like I said, there's a really awesome um, YouTube channel that I did find, and it's called the Amagi, A AMAGI, and they delve a lot more into it, and they tell basically the whole story of All Might. They even have one for Deku, and they tell his whole storyline, and I really like it because uh, each video is really well informed, especially as I'm watching the shows that I've already seen, and they do pretty much just like a quick overview of everything without giving away too many spoilers, which is good, but I mean, how much more can you really spoil a show when right away it starts saying, this is the story about how I became the greatest superhero? And so you know that the kid, for the most part, gets through at least school and things like that and becomes a hero. And so it's kind of a weird thing to think, but it's also great because it shows all of his hardships that he goes through and all of his shortcomings. And I don't want to give any more away really on it, but it's just, oh my god, I think altogether on Google Play they have 84 episodes. And I've watched all 84 of them now, and it's such a good show. And I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch each one. And that's definitely something I'm looking forward to, and I just cannot wait. And other shows that I've just kind of popped into, um, there was another YouTuber who was talking about each of the episodes of one of my favorite shows growing up. And to anybody who was born in the 80s will definitely understand. And I think more so in America, I'm not sure about other countries. But it's the show Are You Afraid of the Dark? And this was a show that was on the Saturday night Nickelodeon run. And they playfully called it Snick. And I mean, it had so many good shows on there. I mean, you had the Rugrats, Doug, Ren and Stimpy, and I really love Doug, and that's another one that I did get into, but I'll talk about that in just a moment. But Are You Afraid of the Dark was pretty much how they ended it, and it was just such a great show, and one of those things that really stuck out to me because I love horror. I love scary things. I mean, I hardly find things that scare me anymore, and which is okay. I mean, I'm always digging for a new movie to watch or a new show to watch, and Are You Afraid of the Dark was just one of those shows that could really help if you have a child who thinks they might like scary movies or scary stuff. Definitely show them this one because, I mean, you have a group of teenagers who get together once a week, and one of them shares a scary story with the group, and then you watch it play out before you. And the show had so many great episodes, and some kind of iffy, interesting ones, but I mean, I would I would watch Are You Afraid of the Dark over most things that were of this ilk. And just so many fun characters, like you have Dr. Vink, who was in the first episode, which would definitely be my absolute favorite episode from the Phantom Cab. And then you have Sardo, and he's just an amazing, kind of quirky, um, kind of a con artist feeling type guy, but I mean, he's just such a fun character because there are times when people would come up to him and be like, Mr. Sardo, Mr. Sardo. It's like, not Mr. Sardo, Sardo. And I forget exactly how he says it because he's just the way he says it. Uh, oh my god, he just has so many fun ones, like the tale of the oh shoot, there were just so many good shows on with this one, and I'm kind of doing a lot of this off the cuff, so it's. I think it's the tale of the spectral specs or something like that. Um, but he runs like a almost a joke shop, magic shop type thing, and just the weird stuff that happens in it is just so much fun, and you just have so many uh, probably famous actors now who do pop up and do episodes for him. You had Melissa Joan Hart show up from Clarissa Explains It All and Drive Me Crazy. You have a young Ryan Gosling show up. You have the always funny and cute Jewel Straight show up in an episode. You have other, like, kind of staples of weird shows. You have Gilbert Godfrey show up and do a part. Bobcat Goldfish. Yeah. Well, you guys know who I mean. Bobcat. He shows up and does a quick little thing too. But just the stories and how they do them. I have about 80 of those episodes now downloaded on my phone. And I'm gonna have to go through and re-watch them. And I'm thinking maybe at some point I might go through them all and try and pick out which ones I think are maybe my top 5 or maybe my top 10 favorite ones. I'm not too sure yet. What do you guys think? Do you think that's something you would like? I mean, there are so many shows out there now that they delve into all of these shows, and I want to show in a weird, different way of how to do it. It's hard to put into words because there are other shows out there who will do their homework. They'll know, oh, this person wrote the show, this person directed. Here's the main actor that made their start in here. Like, you would have. Well, I'm that way when it comes to horror movies because it'd be like, yeah, did you know that Johnny Depp was in the first Nightmare on Elm Street and that was his first movie? Type thing. Or how Kevin Bacon was his first horror movie appearance was in Friday the 13th. Weird things like that. Jennifer Aniston and Leprechaun. But I mean, those kind of things I don't really want to do because I don't really think of myself as a critic or a movie critic or a TV show critic. I want to show you things that I enjoy. And I don't want to just watch something just to watch it and then talk about it. And I want to enjoy it. And if I enjoy it, I think that others out there might like it. And there are things that I'll talk about that aren't everyone's cup of tea. Because I remember when I was talking about Stephen King, someone had contacted me saying that Stephen King wasn't their thing. And, yeah, there's going to be a lot of topics probably down the road or in the near future, somewhere around there, that I'm going to do that people are not going to take the right way. And I think some of it would have to be with the community that I'm with the debunking community mostly. And I'm kind of a part of that because I'm a weird person in the chat. But I would have to say more my thing would be with Chrismer and the Derp Squirrels because they're my gaming group and they're one of my first families I made on YouTube and on the internet, and I love them all so much. Oh my god, I don't really talk to them as much anymore because life's been kind of getting in the way, but I always pop in and talk with them, and they're always so happy to see me and so welcoming. And yeah, they're just a great group. And of course, you guys, or at least on this channel, if you're already subscribed, you know I'm part of the Swordsman group. And we're just kind of a weird poke fun at the Four Beardsmen group. And I love both of those groups so much. I have nothing but high respects for them except for Steve. No, I'm kidding. Steve, I love you. I miss you. I miss hanging out with my group because we were a group that would just get together and sit down and talk and just BS. And so those are the kind of things that I'm used to doing, is just poking fun at things and stuff like that. But I love horror movies. I love games. I love books. And there are so many other channels out there that could probably delve really deep into whatever lore or whatever it makes to do these things. And those are some really great channels, and when I do talk about some of these things, I'll bring up the other ones that do delve deeper into it if you want to go more deep into something. But I just want to be able to sit down with you guys and say, hey, here's this podcast that I listen to and I really enjoy. Oh, wait, here's this TV show that I love. And I just think you guys might like it. And a lot of times with the TV shows, they can run from 21 minutes to an hour long or something like that. And it'd just be a good way for you to sit down and relax and just take a break from life, take a break from the craziness. And life is just so crazy right now. And we all know what's going on, but we're not supposed to mention it. It's kind of like Voldemort. You say the name and everybody starts freaking out. Which is just weird because, I mean, yes, be cautious of what's going on out there. Be on your guard about things. But try not to fear it. Because once you let that fear into you and take control, so many weird things can happen. So, I mean, yes, what's going on out there right now is scary and it's dangerous and it's affected a lot of people. There are so many people nowadays that I've come across that they've said, yes, this family member had it. I've lost this friend that I've known for years and everything else. And that's why it sickens me when I hear these people say that it's not something that they need, that it's like fake, or it's not real, or it's not as dangerous as people are saying. And yes, it is very dangerous, and there's so many dangerous things out in the world. But we can't panic. We need to take a breath. We need to calm down. We need to stop fighting over whether it's real or not. Even if it were to be not real, the panic that people are feeling is. So we need to just come together. That's why I always say, we live on one planet. We need to at least be civil about what's going on. I can disagree with you about anything, and you can disagree with me about just about anything. But it doesn't mean we can't sit down and have an adult to adult talk about things. And that's just something I think we all need to do. We need to start talking about these things. Because the less you say about things, the less informed people are going to be. I'm sorry, uh, I'm not really sure where that came from. Um, but yeah, I want to sit down and talk about movies with you. I want to talk about podcasts. I want to talk about weird things like the Zodiac and stuff like that. Because, I mean, these are things that really stick with me and I think they're fun. And I want to be able to share that fun with people. And, if you sit down and you watch it or you listen to it and you like it, awesome. And if you sit down and you watch or listen and you don't like it, that's cool too. I mean, shoot, hit me up with something that you like. Show me a TV show. Ask me if I've seen a show or not. And then if I haven't, I'll let you know. And if you can point me in the right place to sit down and watch something, heck, I'm game. I love watching TV shows, and it's just one of my favorite things to do. TV was my babysitter when I was growing up. I would just turn on the TV, turn on Nickelodeon. I would get lost in Hey Dude. I would get lost in You Can't Do That on Television. I would get lost in Roundhouse and all that and things, just all those kind of shows. I love discovering new shows. And the more I like it, the more I want to talk about it, the more I'm going to share it. And the more real it'll feel, because I don't want to just say, oh, well, here's this movie I watched, and yeah, it wasn't great, it wasn't blah blah blah, and I don't want to just put a video out like that. Except for like my Thursday premiere group ones, because I do just kind of dig up almost a random video to watch for them, but it's gonna be something in the horror vein or the sci-fi vein, because those are the kind of things I watch. And it's only gonna be usually about a 15-minute video, and it will tell you, hey, here's the people that are in it, here's the basic storyline, and I mean, I like doing that because with those ones I get to dig into the public domain movies. And I've said it before, there's so much, well, not so much gold, but there are so many little gems that are hidden in there. And I love being able to go through and say, here's this movie that not too many people have heard about. But, if you get a chance to watch it, go for it. And with it being public domain, it'll be so easy to find. And you can probably find someplace on YouTube to watch it, or you can go to archive.org and watch it. And so, yeah, those are just the kind of things I want to do. And I know I'm kind of going off on a tirade with all of this, but I mean, I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've gotten to sit down with you guys and just kind of talk. And I've missed you guys in my den. And I miss sitting down and just actually talking about a subject. I know lots of you guys liked when I did the Ophiuchus video, or when I did the history of music, for the Shenandoah song. And there's a couple other ones I still need to do, Chris. I'm sorry. It's just life has been so hectic right now. And Chris Durham is so amazing, and I love him so much. He's such a great musician. And he really turned me on to the Shenandoah song. And there's another one that I'm going to do down the road. And I know I keep saying it, but it's definitely going to be moved up higher on the list. Okay. Let's see here. the Are You Afraid of the Dark TV show, got that. We got My Hero Academia. And like I said, one of my other favorite cartoons growing up was Doug. And like I said, now I have about 80 some cartoons of it ish. Or no, not 80. Not on that one. Probably more around like 30 or 40. I'm somewhere around there. But it was definitely one of those shows that every time it came on, I was so excited to watch it. Another one where I loved the main character, Doug, and his imagination, his best friend, Mosquito, his weird bully friend relationship with Roger, and his love interest with Patty Mayonnaise, and of course, the one that I think is the star of the show, his dog, Pork Chop. And there are certain places that you can go to watch a lot of these ones, and if you hit me up in either YouTube or in Discord, I'll point you in the right direction for it. But it's another show that was a staple of my childhood, especially for the Saturday night, and it was part of the whole Nicktoons run, you know, and everybody will have their own favorites, like with Rocco's Modern Life, or Real Monsters, Ren and Stimpy, which is definitely up there as one of my other favorite Nicktoons. But Doug just had a special place in my heart because of his imagination and the way it was told, as if he was writing down his events in his diary. And it's just, the art is so fun in it, and it's just such a fun show to watch. All of the kooky adventures that he has, and in each one they have pretty much two little 15-minute episodes, so they're not big. You know, they might not even be 15 minutes each because, you know, they had the commercial breaks back then. But, I mean, it's just a fun show to sit down and watch and have a good time, and that's what I love to do. Oh, sorry. I'm talking a lot more than I thought I would. Just had to take a quick drink. I've actually fallen in love with this new drink that I'm getting now, and it's the Coca-Cola drinks mixed with the coffee. And I wasn't too sure if I would like them or not, but because my friend Angel at one point, she was given them by someone, and I tried it out, and at first I wasn't sure what to make of it. But then I discovered all the other different flavors. They have a vanilla flavor, a caramel flavor, a dark roast blend, and then just a regular coffee blend. And it's just, it's really good. I really like it. I wonder if they're going to come out with a diet flavor for the people who want to have a diet one. I mean, these guys don't sponsor me or anything. It's just another drink out there that I think is really good. Okay. Let's move away from that for now. And there were some movies that I just picked up. They were on sale on Google Play, and I'm so excited because they're some movies that I really like. And of course, they're gonna be in the horror ilk. The first one that I'm excited that I got was Trick or Treat. And it's kind of a weird anthology movie, but all of the stories kind of meld together in a nice patchwork quilt kind of way, or not even a patchwork quilt, more of like a basket weaving. Because at certain points you'll see one story happen, and you'll see a person in the background where something's happening over there. And then within the next story, you see what's happening with that person that you saw in the background doing something. Or you'll see somebody in a window screaming, type thing, and you're like, what the heck is going on in that house? What is going on there? That's what I want to know. And then you find out. But it's just such a fun little Halloween movie because it all takes place around Halloween. And that's definitely my favorite holiday that there is. And of course, I'm a gothic little wolf, so I mean, it's always going to be my favorite time of year, and it's going to be the time when I love to just let myself go and be me. And it's a time of year where I can dress up as I usually do, and people won't really know the difference. So, oh my god, just so much happens in this movie. You get, I believe it's young Anna Paquin before she takes on her roles in True Blood, I want to say. I could be very wrong with this. I mean, I'm usually kind of right about things, but not always. But you get to see her be in an interesting genre role before she takes over in that show. Um, and it's just a fun thing that happens in there. And it has a lot of really. Oh, yeah, I was right. Okay. Um, Sorry, I just had to look it up because, I mean, she's definitely kind of one of my favorite actresses because I think she's just so adorable. And she has, I think how one person put it, she has those big anime eyes, and I can't disagree with that. She's cute, she's adorable, and she's a good actress. And usually, whatever she's in, I watch at least once. And then you have, let's see here, uh, Brian, Brian Cox, Brian Knox from, oh no, my phone froze. Um, but you have him playing a curmudgeonly old man. He was in the Godzilla movie, the Legends remake, and of course, most people would know him from his role in Breaking Bad, or you have him in one of the X-Men movies. Uh, I mean, my ex would say she really dislikes him because of the assholes he plays. Oh, shoot. I try not to swear too much on this, but every once in a while something's gonna slip out. Most of you who know me in Discord or know me in other places, you know how I really am. And for some reason on my channel, I kinda wanna censor it, but things are just gonna slip out. Okay. But there are just some fun little stories that happen in there. And like I said, I don't really want to go too far into it now because I want to rewatch it, re um, reintroduce myself to it, and then I want to be able to talk about it more later on. And I think I'm gonna save that for a few more months down the road. And if anybody has to ask what happens in a few months, yeah. Okay. Now, moving on to some of the other ones that I've gotten. I love zombie movies, and one of my videos around my birthday, I talked about two of my favorites, which was Night of the Living Dead, which easily is in my, top two favorite movies ever. Ever. And then Return of the Living Dead. To me, you don't really get any better zombie movies or that type of action with that kind of character building and getting to know what's going on. But I love zombie movies. I have since I was a kid. And I just picked up another one that was on sale, and it just seemed to be right up my alley, and I've heard about it on other podcasts. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. And it's called Cockneys versus Zombies. And I don't want to go too far into it just yet because, like I said, I haven't watched it. I know it's a zombie outbreak that takes place, and from what I understand, the more you drink, the less likely you're gonna be able to become a zombie. So this is gonna be an interesting one, and from what I hear, you have to watch it with subtitles because the accents are really high, and as Creaky Blinder would say, what accent? But I can't wait to watch that one because I love zombies, and oh man, zombie movies are my favorite. I love horror movies. And it's just gonna be right up my alley, I know it. Okay. Two quick kind of supernatural movies that I really like. The first one here is The Uninvited. And it's such an interesting movie to sit down and watch because the whole time, like, weird things are kind of happening around this girl, and you're trying to figure out what it is that's actually happening. And it has a very, very twisted ending to it. And I love the actresses that are in it. You have Ariel Kibble. I'll go with Kibble. It just sounds good enough to eat. But most people would know her from like the American Pie band camp movie. But she's another one of those ones where she's an extremely cute actress and just fun to watch. And another actress that's in it that I really like is Emily Browning. And if I remember right, she was also in the Lemony Snicket series of Unfortunate Events, and there are other movies she's in too that I still need to get around to watching. And something that Dark Steve will like. She was born in Melbourne, Australia. Oh yeah, she was also in Sucker Punch. She was in Sleeping Beauty in 2011. So, I mean, she's a really good actress, and she's another one of those ones where when I first saw her, it's like, oh wow, she's cute. And then you watch her act, and it's like, wow, she's cute and she can act. Yay! But it's just one of those ones where you sit down and watch it, and as soon as you get to the end of it, it's like, oh my god. So that's what happened. And it's kind of like a Twilight Zone meets Tales from the Crypt melded together in a blender, and this is what you get. It's just so much fun. And these are movies I will do videos on later on. But I mean, I just want to share really quick with some of the things that I've gotten and what I'm excited about to watch and talk about later. And then here's another one that I have not watched in quite a while now, and it's called Rest Stop. And it's a haunted, I don't want to say haunted house movie, but it's a haunted rest stop area, and it's definitely a mind forker of a movie because so many things happen, and it's just sometimes it's hard to follow or it's hard to make sense of, but it's just the story behind it I think is fun. And a lot of times when the story behind something is really good, that's what'll get me. And then I won't worry, oh, well, the special effects are bad, or the acting is bad, or this is bad. And as long as I get the story and the story hooks me, I will love the movie no matter how bad it is. I mean, I love The Happening. So many people hate The Happening. But the idea that plants decide we're done messing with humans, we are going to take them out, and this is how we're going to do it. And it seems far-fetched that that kind of thing can happen with The Happening. But then you hear about things called zombie ants. And that's a fungus that takes over the mind of an ant and makes it crawl up onto a plant, lock its jaws into the underside of a leaf, and then just let the fungus take over and eat it. So, I mean, I know fungus, is it a plant? Kind of. You have mushrooms, which are kind of plantish. So, I mean, plants coming out and doing things like this are not too far-fetched, and I'm going on a tangent again, oh my god. But, yeah, Rest Stop. It's a very unsettling movie when you're watching it, and just, I cannot wait to revisit this one. It's another one of those ones where people probably didn't like it, and there are just times when I look at something and wonder how can people not like this? But, hey, we all have our likes and dislikes when it comes to movies and shows and books. And so it's not too hard to... I can accept that people aren't going to like the things I like. I'm okay with that. But at least give it a try. And it's one that I can't wait to sit down and watch again. But one of my absolute favorite ones that I just cannot wait to sit down and watch again is this other movie called Splinter. And it's a very underrated horror movie, I think. And one of the main reasons I love it, it's a small cast of people. I think at most you see maybe 6 people throughout the whole movie. You have the 3 main people. There's a boyfriend and a girlfriend who go camping. You have another boyfriend and a girlfriend who are on the run from the law. There's a gas station attendant you see for a split moment. And then there's a female cop that you see for a bit. And that's it. I love movies that have a small cast and movies that take place in one area. Just for some reason that gets me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love movies where they move around to different places and things like that. But when you can take a story and just set it in one location, and the actors are good enough to hold your attention with what's happening, and the creature is actually kind of freaky and scary. And it's literally like it says, it starts off as a splinter. And yes, okay, I'm getting too far ahead with that one because I'm definitely gonna rewatch that one within at least the next few days and probably do a video on it. And like I said, I'm gonna do videos on pretty much all of the ones I have talked about. Cockneys versus Zombies, Trick or Treat, Splinter, The Uninvited, Rest Stop. I mean, right there's at least 5 videos I can do, and I'll try and I'll try not to go on too many tangents with them, but when I get excited, my mind jumps from thing to thing, and so a lot of you who have followed me kind of know this. Well, actually, here's a couple more I can talk about that I'm gonna watch, and it's Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer, which is definitely a great melding of comedy and horror and just the weird stuff that happens in it. I believe Wes Craven, or no, Robert Englund is in the movie, and I mean, just Robert Englund alone was enough to draw me into this movie. There's another movie here that's called Altered, and it's such a weird twist on an alien story, and I'm definitely gonna watch that one again soon. I think I bought that one a while ago because it was on sale at one of the video stores, and it was only like $2 or $3 or something like that. And wasn't too sure what I would think of it, but when it's only like $2 or $3, whether it's good or it's bad, you don't waste a lot of money, and if it's bad, you wasted $2 and around an hour and a half of your life. There are so many other worse movies out there to watch, and this is definitely a good one to watch. And another one here, I'm gonna butcher the name of it. Ganjayam? Haunted Asylum. And this one only came out maybe a few years ago, and it's another one of the found footage horror movies, and another one that takes place in an asylum, you know, kind of the grave encounters type thing, but it's from another country and it's from their point of view. So I cannot wait to sit down and watch this. As much as I love zombies, I love supernatural. Sorry. I love supernatural movies just as much. And then probably another movie here that is definitely up there in at least my top 10 favorite movies, and that's Cube. And it's another one with a small cast of people. They're stuck in one location. I mean, supposedly the location is huge, but from what I remember of it, the person that made the movie only had the budget to rent out like one room or something like that, and so they just redressed the room each time and made this sci-fi horror-ish masterpiece. Okay, my voice is about to go out now, but let's see here. those are some of the movies that I want to talk about, and some of the TV shows. And so I think I have a pretty good lineup of my future videos that I'm going to be doing. Um, when it comes to podcasts, there's another one that I've found, and it's because of the Loud House show and Doug that I kind of found this, because I wanted to look up if there were any like Nickelodeon podcasts. And I did find one, and it's Nickelodeon Animation, I want to say, and they go through and they interview um, some voice actors. They have John DiMaggio they do an interview with. They do an interview with Billy West, who most people would know of as being Doug, or I believe he was also Fry. Um, but it's just, you have so many fun actors that they talk to. They talk to Tara Strong, and she does a whole bunch of, uh, let's see here, she does a lot of female characters, of course, and she's even the voice for some other characters that you might not even realize. But it's such a fun show to sit down and listen to. They bring in all the actresses who played the sisters in Loud House at one point and talk with them. They talk to the people from Danny Phantom. Um, they just about each show that you can remember liking, at least, like I said, if you're my age-ish, you know, even maybe a 90s kid, um, they'll talk to creators and actors from a lot of your favorite cartoons. Okay. And one more thing, real quick, is in my Discord group with the Swordsman, uh, our producer, quote unquote producer, which is Mute Donkey, we have been going through the books of the Animorphs series. He found a video that was talking about them and asked if anybody wanted to read the books and then get together or talk about them. And being a nerd and a dork and everything else like that, I said yes. And I had remembered reading, I believe, up to like book maybe 6 or 7 or somewhere around there of the Animorph series, and then the author came out with another series and I started reading those and slowly kind of lost track of what was happening in it. I mean, with me, I have like the mind of a goldfish stuffed in a wolf. Something catches my attention for quite a while, and then I drop it like a bad habit and move on to my next bad habit. But let's see here. We've gone through books 1 through 4, and we're on book 5 now. And that's just something I've been doing most of summer with him, going through the books, and then we'll sit down and have like a half-hour discussion on them. Sorry. But it's just a fun thing to do, and the books are really good. They were made more or less for probably about middle school age kids, and they would definitely be a fun series to get your kids into if you want them to read kind of sci-fi-ish adventure stories. And so that might be something you might like and introduce your kids to. Um, I know we're on book 5 now, and we're definitely looking for more people to jump in and watch the show. Or, yeah, there's even a TV show of it, which it's not great, but I like it and I think it's fun, and it might be something I talk about too later on. But if you want to sit down and read the books and then jump on Discord with me and Mute Donkey and have a discussion on what we're reading, that'd be awesome. The more the merrier. That's just something that we're doing right now. And earlier in one of my other videos, I said I did get a collection of Alaskan stories that I'm gonna go through and possibly read some out and probably put videos out of them of me reading them. And um, another one of my friends was saying he was gonna do a kind of scary story podcast or show on YouTube or something, and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said, let me see. So, before my voice gets any more hoarse, I think I'll go ahead and call it a day. I know it's a bit of a longer video than I thought it would be, but thank you guys so much. I mean, right now I'm looking at this is month 8 now, and I started doing videos in December. Some of you who joined me before that know I've kind of been doing videos since October. There are some video games that I've definitely picked up that I've fallen in love with, and I might do some videos on that. But I kind of have to stop talking now or I might lose my voice. But there are definitely some fun video games that I've found, and I definitely want to play and talk about. I'm going through Grand Theft Auto 3, China Wars, and Vice City. I'm playing Dead Cells, a fun little game called Morphite, amazing game called Ravensword 2, and Mama Tina, yes, there is a wrestling game that I found, and it's called Wrestling Empire, and it's a sequel to the Wrestling Revolution game. And so, I might not do like a playthrough of these games, but I definitely want to at least come through and throw in my 2 rupees into this whole series type thing. So, yeah. But this was more just kind of a catch-up video of what I've been doing the last few months. And I wanted to sit down and talk with you because I've missed it. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for just coming into my den. I know it's just been the cartoon videos lately, but that's gonna change here soon. I'll still have my cartoons, but I want to have more fun and talk about these movies and these shows and these books, and there's a bunch of books that I got that I want to talk about, but I can't now. I love you guys so much, and thank you for following me for the last 8 months and enjoying our time together. And thank you for letting me in your head, because that's what you're hearing is my voice in your head. I love you guys so much. And I'm so excited about what the future's gonna bring, because it's gonna be fun. And I want to have fun with you guys. Without you guys sitting here listening, I wouldn't do this. You guys are so awesome. And remember, we do only live on one planet. So let's at least be civil. I love you guys so much. And I'll talk more soon. Bye bye, you awesome bipeds, quadrupeds, and even the occasional dinosaurs. Wolf, out.